Rich in natural gas, gems, and timber, Burma, a once isolated country under a military dictatorship, is now open for business. The United States is pushing for organizations like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank to visit Burma to fix its financial system. Today at the World Bank, there's a panel held on the financial situation in the country and about re-engagement in the nation.
Burma's new engagement efforts and reforms are winning back old foes and new diplomatic rewards. Since Aung San Suu Kyi and her party, the National League of Democracy, want seats in parliament, the United States and the European Union have decided to ease sanctions on Burma, possibly lifting bans so American and European companies can invest in the country. Sean Turnell, an expert economist on Burma, says that this cooperation between the United States and Burma could make the country like the rest of Southeast Asia again.
In the case of the US, we're seeing a nuancing of the sanctions regime. It's coming off. We don't have the full details yet, but I think what it will do is lead to greater economic interactions between the two countries. The end of US financial sanctions that had implications for NGOs and other development agencies in Burma is pretty much of a good thing. I think no one would really object to that too strongly, and it was more or less expected, because there are some problems at the moment with the existing sanctions and catching in the web some organisations that we really wouldn't want to sanction.
U.S. sanctions on Burma has driven the country closer to its big superpower neighbor, China. Analysts of Burma believe that the Burmese government is tired of China's influence, saying that China takes advantage of Burma's resources while Burma gets nothing in return.
Any change to sanctions policy will greatly affect China. China, for a long time now, has been able to go in and, frankly, expropriate much of Burma's natural resources and energy. I think not many people in Burma realise the prices that China pays for the resources, the degree at which it's getting something really quite cheap from Burma. So I think the whole focus on the relationship, the economic relationship between Burma and China, is something that really should be a focus, actually, of the current government.
The Burmese government has tried to reform the country by opening engagement in order to attract more foreign investors. During the 1990s, the EU and America imposed sanctions on Burma for its human rights abuses, but these sanctions may be lifted soon. China was Burma's main investor for years during the time of sanctions, but with the recent visit of British Prime Minister David Cameron, Burma may have other opportunities. Still, there are so many challenges that Burma has to overcome. Kaye, Voice of America, The World Bank, Washington.